I guess that means Shadow's here. Hello, buddy. How are you doing? How's my audio? I like this little startup stream. It kind of gives me a moment to prepare to get on camera. Or doesn't even get. I don't even have to get on camera. Yeah, audio levels. Awesome. Audio is good. I'm doing good. I've been watching uh, a lot of people on the internet and see what they've been doing, like what they do, like what do these streamers do? They play these like Shadow and I, and probably many of you out there, uh, relax with some video games. Also along with uh, building models and stuff like that. I'm gonna take down my audio just a little bit here. Make sure I'm not clipping out. If that was a bad move, give me a heads up. Yeah, a lot of us play video games. Whether it be fantasy video games where you're an RPG character, or it's a war video game. All those kinds of different video games. Well, what do those guys do after hours and hours and hours of playing that stuff? Like, I can't play it that long. Let's get it together. Play a little Civilizations or something like that. But I can't do it 5 days a week, 40 hours. So some of them literally do that. Yeah, and they do shows like this. They do these chat shows where they get a couple of screens on their streamer and they watch some videos, and it's actually totally allowed. Like, we're allowed to watch videos and add commentary and stuff like that. What my idea is that I do this with you guys. If you want to watch something, say it in the chat. If you're a patron, you can go over into Discord, and I'll figure out how to open it up. I don't think it's opened up on my computer right now. But if you want to do the Discord thing, I am game. Because that is something that could get out of hand really quick. It is a patron only thing. And I believe it's an automatic thing. You get an invite as you become a patron. Also, if you are a subscriber, or if you become a subscriber during the show, there's a little alert down at the bottom. Here I can trigger off the last one. If I had a producer, this is what the big time big time tubers streamers do. They put a couple up, make it look like you're busy or something. Throw those up, just show you. So if you subscribe during the show, that's how they do that. They pick what happened in the last 48 hours or something and throw them up. So that's back thing. If you want to learn some of this stuff, this is a cool thing about this chat too. Hey Billy, I gotta look. Well, I shouldn't look at the chat because it kind of screws up my. You guys know what happened. Okay, let me get. Well, see, that's why I shouldn't look at chat. It distracts me. So yeah, we can watch a couple of videos, and I put out the heads up on Patreon. Billy's got access to the Discord. If you're a moderator or a ongoing listener who's just not a Patreon type, you can find your way in. Just gotta know the secret handshake. Hey, Kokasing, Railroad, how you doing? Yeah, sorry, Kokasing. I was making you. I made you think that tonight was going to be one of those uh, shows. It wasn't. I had it all confused. I got too many irons in the fire. I'm flaky like that. Flaky like that. There's a little camera action going on here. Maybe go like this. Here. There. There we go. You thought I was gonna go over there, didn't you? I can flip this thing. Uh, yeah. Oops. Wrong flip. Okay, so now when I go like, yeah, now it looks right to me. I don't care what it looks like to you, but, or, well, it looks right to you now too. That's a cool thing. Yeah, I can't miss the chat now. So, yeah, sorry, Kokasing. We're gonna be like it's a it's a 4 host job, and we all got to get together and have a meeting, and oop, I gotta start the timer too. We just gotta do everything the way the way it's supposed to go. Timer's going. The only thing I haven't got here is the view counter. That's okay. 7 people, it says. So yeah, I gotta meet up with those guys, and we're getting the show back together, and it's a real easy thing to do, but it takes a lot of finessing to get it back together, because once all that stuff is together, it's a big edit job, and I'm really not fussed about all that. Yeah. I'm still working with the old computer, which means it would be a heavy update, a heavy render to do it. I got these on. There's no music on. When there's music on, I'll be able to put them on. Yeah, like the new computer is pretty close. We're about $130 away from getting an 8-core processor that'll be perfect for the whole render jobs and all that jazz. But gotta wait patiently for some things in this hobby. You know, it's an expensive hobby, and same with streaming. All this stuff, it's that's expensive too. Myra's starting the guild. No, the Model Railroads and Structures show. You remember Peter Lavos, Edward Traxler, and Judy Corchado? Judy Corchado was a guest back then. I saw she had a channel, and we hooked up on Facebook. So we're kind of like a Facebook crowd, and we've been following Judy just as much as we followed each other, meaning Peter, Ed, and I. And we just figured Judy was a perfect addition to the crew. You know, it's nice to get a female perspective. She'd chuckle when I'd say that. But it's not only that, but she does dioramas of movies and cosplay stuff, and stuff that I consider scale modeling, just not model railroading. So that's just kind of gonna be our thing, I guess. Yeah, absolutely, Kokasing. We can do that. It's really easy. I know. I like. We did it 3 years ago, and it's the organization and having something proper to say. And the bottom line to all of it is that when you hear crickets, everything sucks. And I don't want to have a show like that. I want to have I said last night, they're all going to be small segments that are recorded so that it's easy. It's going to have not all the hosts, maybe a couple of the hosts. Uh, it's all about being easy, and in that Google Hangouts is right up our alley for doing that. Appear.in is too. You should probably consider checking that out if you want to. That's what the YouTube model builders guys use. If it's a 4-person hangout, like, you can't beat it. It's got everything, and Hangouts kind of changes a little bit every once in a while. And if your guests are on a PC or a Mac or this or that, it's kind of funky. And when you use appear.in, it really doesn't matter where you are, because there is no tribal bashing between the brands. If you know what I mean. So, now, you know me. I talk about things way before I should. A little bit of an upper. But the thing is that I've got a little gig going on with Rapido trains, and if I got a couple of weeks here, then the ear of somebody while they're trying to be nice to me. So, I wanted to try and figure out to find a product from Rapido that you guys would really like to have, especially patrons. What would you like to have as a giveaway? Now, I wouldn't be getting this off of Jason for free. And I know that Jason knows that I know that he knows that he knows that I know. I ain't big enough for him to sponsor me. So I'm going to try to get a nice I live down the highway deal between friends of the Via Rail fun bus. Yeah, I said it, Jason. I'm gonna clip this and send it to him, guaranteed. Or you know what? One of you guys can timestamp it and send it to him. But what product in the Rapido line? You can go to the website and check it out. We can go there together. How about we go there together, my friends? Let me whip it up over here. Make sure that they'll see what this is doing. See, I sent out an update to all the little places I update people, and nobody's. Oh, okay. 38 people's open so far. Right on. Right on. One person in Mexico, one person in Guatemala, 2 people in Australia, 16 people in the USA, and 21 people in Canada. No, I haven't been drinking. Honest. Huh. So let's pop over to I should have had. It's okay. I'm good off camera. So yeah, Rapido Trains has a highly detailed but premium priced trains, in my opinion. However, but there's a lot of products that are available. The Rail Crew switch. That's something. Box cars, you can see in the background. Yeah, Rapido buses. They got the double decker buses from the UK too. Wouldn't that be cool? Yeah, I gotta keep this open so that I can see what your answers are. I would actually... Okay, so here, I got an idea. So over here, we're gonna open up... I'm gonna start a survey on yesterday's video. Where is it? Right here. Let you in the back scene here. You can see my stuff. Oh my gosh! Oh well. Over here in cards, we can always be ready to always feel hilarious because it was totally let's turn this guy. Stop you. If you ever hear my sound out of whack, please, I really depend on the sound, and I've always live and die by the sword, and while streaming, the sound is my sword. So if the sound's off or anything like that, hit me up in the chat. When I change volume and stuff like that, I always pay close attention to the chat, hoping that you'll say something. So we're going to start the poll right at the beginning of the video. Create a poll. What Rapido product should we give away? Probably way too many words. The bus. Now, probably the undecorated bus, correct? Because the undecorated comes with the general colors. You can add your own decals, which is basically like the TTC bus that I got. Here's the other product, the Rail Crew switch machine with rotating target. Oh. Moving. So it's basically like a tortoise. But this is what the top looks like, and it shows which way your switches are running, like in real life. You know, this is killer. That's probably loud. Seems loud. Yeah, I think that's loud. How's that for levels? Kind of looks good. Coca Sing, that is APPEAR.IN.
this is the uncoupler, right?
Yes.
Okay, so Randy, tell me and our viewers how this works. What is it?
Effectively, we have a remote uncoupler, easy to install, that allows you to either uncouple or pass over without uncoupling.
So basically,
Your choice, yes.
Right. So it's not a constantly on uncoupling magnet.
Exactly.
Okay.
It's activated by a momentary toggle switch, on or off.
Now the model, each one comes with this faceplate and the switch, right?
Come with the switch and the faceplate.
No problem, buddy.
Now, if I bring this,
This is
in
my
the opposite
personal
position, I bring
TV
the
that
card
talks
over the
back.
uncoupler, they will not uncouple. Yeah, when I turn it on, and I bring them down
Crack me
over,
up.
if you can see the trip pins, when you see the blue lights on the trip pins, they'll uncouple.
Okay, so
You
then
guys
when
gotta
you
get a
install the
thumb
uncoupler on
down
your
some.
track,
If
that
we were
means
on
that there's
Twitch,
an
we
LED
could
that
actually
turns
do a
on when
thumbs
it's
down
uncoupling.
When it's active,
thing.
Okay.
That's the
Now,
benefit
question
of
is,
Twitch.
though, I mean, what
You
kind
know,
of power supply?
I think next week's vote will be, should we add
But, I
Twitch?
mean, do
Should
you
we
need the
do
power
this
on
over on
all the time?
Twitch
It's momentary.
too?
Because it's momentary, you can run
So that
20 or
those
30
people
units
can
off
do
a
the
single
thumbs
power
down.
pack.
Right.
It's really quite amazing.
So basically, it's a momentary on and it stays on, momentary off and it goes off.
Exactly.
And-
When it's on, the only power it consumes is what you require for the LED.
Okay, LEDs virtually nothing,
Virtually
right?
nothing.
And so the LED is only on when you're uncoupling.
Yes.
Okay, so that tells you where to stop.
Yeah, very, very, very true. And it's interesting, when you're in a yard with several layouts or cars, you can actually look underneath and see the light on the trip pins. And you can stop there.
So even low lighting situation, you have no trouble seeing
Very
where
good.
to. That's pretty cool. That's awesome. Now I imagine these will work well with passenger cars. Yeah.
Absolutely.
I won't. You know what? I happen to have some passenger cars here. Let's give it a try, eh? Okay, so I'm a passenger modeler. You know, I'm wearing I'd rather be on an Amtrak T-shirt here, and I'll be modeling Spadina Yard in my basement where we are. So obviously here, passenger cars are a big part of my layout, and I was really wondering how I'm going to uncouple them. And I have here two coaches, including a certain number 5647. That's a coach I'm well familiar with. The bamboo skewer is a traditional uncoupling tool used by most operators, and obviously with the diaphragms, it's very hard to get that in there, especially when the diaphragms are connected, really touching each other, you know, if they're sitting in the yard. Okay, so let's roll back and forth. No uncoupling happening whatsoever. Okay, let's turn on the uncoupler. All right, and let's find the blue light. There it is, and kaboom. Hey, really nice. This is not needed anymore. All right, so to install this, I mean, what is exactly involved? I see that we have you use a drill. It's a very tiny drill. You're using a drill to drill a 1/8 inch hole from above, right? And then the hole saw from underneath, right?
Exactly. It's important. Most layouts, when you lay out and you start operating, especially in freight yards, you find out that, gee, I wanted an uncoupler here, not over there. So the ability of this uncoupler is you can locate it anywhere you want from the top down.
Right, so it's drilled through, and then there's the pin that's included in the box that
Yes.
goes in the middle of your standard hole saw, right? And then that goes up from below, so the pin centers in the hole, right?
Exactly.
Okay, but if an already scenic layout, it's no problem to install this.
No, that's
Right.
the advantage of this system, because the only ballast you have to do is that little circle.
Right.
That's the only scenery you do with it.
Right. Okay, so let's walk over to a little part of my layout here and just
contribute to
show
my
me
drink
exactly,
fund.
you know, from an unfinished layout, how it's going to work. Right. So basically, if I'm going to be installing the uncoupler here
Right there.
to uncouple east to Kingston Station, should I be
Streamlabs.com/.
doing it before or after I lay all
Modelers
the
Guild.
If you know
It'll come
exactly
up
where you want it,
right there.
and you're absolutely certain, drill the hole from the top down. You can use a standard 1 3/4 inch hole saw, place it in, and get it all set. That's
So what
the
do you think
easiest
about
way.
these switches?
However, even when I do layouts now for displays, I actually lay the tracks and find out where the
I think these
clearances
would-
are,
these-
and
these
then
would be
drill
pretty
down
cool.
through to put the coupler.
So
in place.
it's even easy. Basically, either way, it's 6 of one, half dozen the other. Okay, and so you can see, I mean, this is pretty easy, right? Because I've got access from underneath, which is most guys building a layout, you got access from underneath.
Yes.
You know, and you see it's probably going to end up being roughly flush here, right?
Yes.
And then this guy is going to plug in to the toggle switch is included, and the fascia plate's included, right? So I mean,
Yes.
this plug is included here, and you just have a wires coming off the toggle switch, and you can increase those lengths with more wires
Yes,
if you wanted
just
to.
plug in there.
Okay, very, very good. You realize, you know, I'm just doing this here so everyone can see how neat my turbo is, right? I love the turbo.
True, Jason.
this is the thing I'm really excited about, right? Because this is the switch machine, and I have a triple deck layout under construction, and my big concern is putting one of those massive switch machines under the layout. So, I mean, how thick is this really?
1 inch. 1 inch.
Now let's make it go so we can actually see it in action. Now the fact that the target is turning and the handle of the switch stand turning too, I mean, that's just fantastic. You know, wow. Wow, now we're including more than just one switch stand, right?
Absolutely. You have a choice of 3 different style of stands in the kit.
Right.
All of
And then,
those
so you've
are
got
in
the
the
31B,
package.
the
I've seen them.
17B, and the 20C, right?
These are, yes, all Racco stands.
Okay, okay.
Hey, Ron
and
Brights, how you
targets,
doing?
and targets we including.
Thanks
There's
for
10
stopping
different
by.
targets. So
Okay.
you can choose a target that suits the road you work with.
We're talking
Right.
about
So
what
similar
I
to
should
the-
try to
the
get
uncoupler,
a deal
you basically you're not having constant
Rapido,
voltage like most slow motion switch machines, right?
for,
so you just it's a boom
giveaways.
and it does its job and then there's no more voltage.
Yeah, that's right.
Right.
I got a gig
so
with them
then
this summer,
the
so I
question
can
everyone's
bend
going
his
to
ear.
ask is, you know, we're used to slow motion switch machines because they don't wear out the points. Is this going to wear out the points? Because it's a fast one. I mean, it's not as crazy as one of those old solenoid machines, but it is fast.
It's fast. We provide a cam that gives you a whole variety of spaces to be able to throw. So you can set it so that you're not putting a load on it. And the link rod itself is a 30,000
Just got a message.
wire, so it
Is
takes
that
the shock and it has a
copyrighted
bend in it.
content?
So if you get a
No.
little bit off,
Rapido would consider
Okay,
this a
great.
free
So we're not going
ad.
to wear out our points with this thing. That's fantastic. Let's watch it a couple more times. Now, installation of this thing. So you're installing from above, right? You mentioned that.
yes, you can install it from above. It's the easiest
Gotta
way.
get them cows
And
fed.
again, what it is, the instructions simply 1 inch from the edge of the rail, between where the head block ties will go, drill down, drill a 1 1/8 inch hole from the top, and then throwing it with a hole saw here or a spade saw coming up from the bottom. And then you simply put the unit in and put a jam in there to position so you can actually rotate it for adjustments.
Okay.
And then you hook up your link rod. There will be a cam on top. The whole stand itself goes on at the very end. Once you get it working from above, then you put the stand on.
Went down
Okay,
the
so
wrong
I
tube.
have a sample in my hand, and we've got all of these little contact positions, right? So what are we powering off these contacts if we want to?
You're powering the motor off the 2 end ones, and there are 2 double pole, double throw switches inside the unit, so you can power your frog and signals.
Oh, fantastic! That is brilliant. That's brilliant. And can we put an accessory decoder on here if it's got momentary ability? You can put an accessory decoder on here.
Yes, you can.
And I've done no research, so I don't know if any do. But if they don't, I think that's got to be a future rail crew project. Eh?
I think so.
So this is just east of Gilwood Station on the middle deck here, and there's the crossovers. This is in eastern Toronto area, and I'm in the sub-road bed stage right now of the layout. So I actually been working with Randy for a while on this, and I knew the design of this switch machine, Randy's design. So I actually drilled the sub-road bed to have a little lump here, and if you hear, I put my Pico number 8 in position, and you can see that I've got a bump in my sub-road bed where the switch machine is going to go. If you are doing a new build and you're working on a new sub-road bed and you're doing the same sort of cookie cutter method that I'm doing, it's advisable to put that bump into your sub-road bed, and then you've got your room for your switch machine to be in position, and it's got a real solid foundation. Not to say that you can't retroactively fit this, but it's obviously easier if you're coming from the ground up, you're starting a new layout, get those bumps in there. So you might want to pick up a few of these just to have sort of tests so you can check the position when you're drilling out, when you're cutting out your sub-road bed. Obviously, Randy, it's been a pleasure getting to know you over the last couple of years because I don't know if you guys know this, but Randy is an inventor, and he actually invented all this stuff. He invented the switch machine, he invented the uncoupler, he's got more inventions he's working on, and I gotta tell you, this really solves 2 big issues for me as a passenger car modeler, and as a guy with a multi-deck model railroad. You solved my biggest question marks, which were, how do I uncouple my passenger cars, and how do I have a low-profile switch machine? So also with the rotating targets, I mean, this is awesome.
Jason, it's awesome for me too because you solved one of my big problems. How do I get these products to market?
There you go. This is a great partnership between Rail Crew and Rapido, and we have a train to catch. So, see you later. Train's here.
Good enough.
That's pretty cool, huh?
See you later, Coca Singh. That looks pretty cool, eh? Hi, Jen White. We're talking about the kinds of things that we would like to see as giveaways from Rapido Trains. Not that they're gonna sponsor me or anything. I want to try to get a a nice deal on some products so that I could give them away. Uh, so trying to go over what they have and start off with the cheap stuff. Basically, you know how it goes. Probably some N scale modelers out there too. I wonder how many of my viewers are in N scale. I know that this double decker is gonna be hot. Just imagine this one. Oh, they've got one.
My name is Jason Schron. I'm the president of Rapido Trains Inc. This is Canada's largest manufacturer of model trains and buses. I started this by making resin kits when back in 2003, 2004. Brought out our first ready-to-run passenger cars.
You know the funny thing is
carriages, I should say, in UK
because
market.
this is my show, I can do this to Jay.
We've done Canadian locomotives, passenger cars. We've done American locomotives and passenger cars. We've done experimental trains like the turbo train, which is North America's fastest train, had a jet engine inside. Lately, we've expanded into the UK market. We've done APT.
Yeah, that's a little too much.
Experimental, and that one, as our model of it, tilts on curves and actually has also a little.
This is the model that I'm building the layout display for.
Gone from just doing Canadian stuff to Canadian American, now Canadian American British, and now buses. Our first North American bus model is in production right now. I'm the British bus nut at Rapido, and I'm trying to convert everybody else into British bus nuts. I'm bringing that love, that passion to the British bus models as well. Birmingham City Transport was an amazing bus company that maintained its buses in immaculate condition.
Hey Zane, how you doing?
Massive fleet.
Thanks for
and
stopping by.
The number of Birmingham City Transport buses you can buy in model form is minuscule number of accurate Birmingham buses in model form, and that was partially because they were such unique buses, especially when they introduced the new look on the Crossleys, the Guys, and on the Daimlers. When I think of the New Look bus, which was named after Christian Dior's New Look dresses of 1947, and these buses were introduced, I mean, the New Look design was done in 48. The first buses were delivered, it was a Crossley in February 1950, right? And then the Guy Arabs followed, and then the Daimler followed as well. So 1950 to 54, all these buses were delivered. So to me,
that's cool.
saying specifically it's a new look.
There used to be one in London here.
The concealed radiators, as usually bodied by Metro
one.
Camel, right? Also bodied by Crossley. When you've got compound curves, it's exceedingly difficult to get the shape right. And a compound curve is when you've got something curving in one direction and another direction at the same time. If you look at the dome on any bus, it's going to have a compound curve, almost always, especially a classic bus from 1950 is going to have a compound curve. Same thing, the bonnet, it's all compound curves. The wheel arches, all compound curves, right? If you're starting off with a 2D drawing, there is no hope of you're going to get those compound curves right. You just can't do it. So a 3D scan company will come and they'll use a laser and bounce it off the model in millions of locations, right, the real bus. And then they turn that into what's called a point cloud file. It's a 3D model that you can spin around on the computer.
Put it right up on
You can look at it
stands.
from all angles. And then what we do is we import that into our 3D graphics software in China. Our engineers are in China. We have 2 factories in China. And they will then trace that bus in using curves in the design software. I'd say it'll take about 3 months full time to trace this bus properly and to design it properly. So we design it as a scale model that's got all the right curves scaled down to 1/76. Then we have to do a mold list. So we divide all the parts depending on, we can put a whole bunch of little parts of one type together. If they're made in POM plastic, it goes onto one mold, of ABS plastic on another mold, and general purpose polystyrene, GPPS, on another mold, right? And then we got the metal parts that are die cast.
Hey,
et cetera,
Sparky,
et cetera,
how you
right?
doing?
So then we have to make steel molds. And it involves machining using both CNC, which is computerized.
You're confused,
machining,
Edward.
Also something called EDM. That's where we actually spark.
Hold up. What are you talking about? You're confused. Oh, this is just to we're just Sunday chat thing. So if you're confused about the thing we're doing, uh we got a document put together for that. We should have a chat tomorrow morning. If you want? Give me an email or do the Facebook thing. I'm never able, like I don't get notified of your hangouts, so I've got a I've got a notification unclicked.
Sure, there may be some people say, I'm not going to buy that, it's not diecast. When they get it in their hand and they see what it looks like,
but this is what this is about is
full interior, all the seats.
Actually, the conversation that I'm having is kind of about the show too.
There's added cost to
is that I got a gig coming up with Rapido again, just like I had a couple of years ago.
Little display. So the 40
turn this down a little bit. Let's just pause it. Get Ed up to speed. Ed's a co-host for a show that started about 3 years ago, the Model Railroads and Structures Show. And we're going to get that back started up with... I was talking about it earlier in the cast, Ed, so this is repeating it for everybody else. So I got a gig again with Rapido to build a 17-foot by 6.5-foot display layout, including the 8-foot section that I built 3 years ago. So, this is that I was trying to find giveaways and stuff like that I could get as buying, getting a deal off of the owner of Rapido while I'm able to bend his ear. And we're just going over the website, watching shit, just hanging out. This is kind of pretty boring. Well, not boring. I'm just checking out what the cool stuff is in Rapido and trying to get some feedback on what everybody would like me to try to get a deal on. And I'm not getting anything for free. I'm gonna buy it. I'm just gonna try to get a good live down the road deal. You know what I mean? You know my email. Yeah. I know you were hanging out in a hangout yesterday. I was busy all day with a calamity. A rural calamity. So, what we've come up with so far is that the Rapido buses, they've got N-scale stuff, but I haven't really had any feedback from N-scale modelers. Edward is a O-scale narrow gauge modeler, highly talented. Indeed. Or wild turkey.
Distributed in the UK by Rails of Sheffield. It's a massive model shop in Sheffield, and they're distributing to the stores in the UK. Or you can also order direct from Rapido, our website,
okay.
RapidoUK.com.
Forget this. I forgot what we're doing here. So yeah, they're gonna do this bus. This would be fun, but they're probably about $60 a piece, which is like I would be able to get a couple of them probably for a deal. I could probably get a pretty good deal. I think I have some money left on credit too. They got N scale, which is neat. The turbo train is coming out, but I expect that to be a $500 train. I saw it at Springfield. It was a pretty good, pretty nice model. I've got a lot of Springfield footage actually, but it's a lot of shaky video. You gotta, there's something to be said for somebody be said for taking video at a live train event. It's like, if you're gonna be a host in any way whatsoever, or have people talk to you, it's really hard. Like, if you're gonna be you need a cameraman full time. It's crap. Oh yeah, see, Ed does a lot of SketchUp drawings, and if you've seen my 3D printing videos and stuff, Ed's the guy who's talking to me there. He's in a bunch of my videos. Gotta probably send you some royalty checks there, huh? I just showed the back end of my yeah. Yeah. There's a million things on my list of things that I really want to get, and being a father in a family that really pinches the pennies, it's really difficult being a a YouTuber, because oh man, I could go all out spending money. Actually, tell you about some inside stories about Springfield. Springfield ended up being the biggest failure in some ways. Had nothing to do with, like, it was all like, I bought a microphone for my phone. It ended up my phone wouldn't hook up to any microphones, but you'd only ever find that out until after you purchased the thing, and it was off of Amazon. And I already glued a piece to another piece, and was just like, how am I going to send this back? Damn it. So that was money down the drain. And then, what else? I spent money on, I spent money putting this camera rig together to get a whole bunch of, I spent a good $150 getting the camera rig together, and it just didn't work. None of it. C'est la vie. Lucky Sparky was there, otherwise I wouldn't have gotten the one good piece of video that I got. Thanks, Spark. Cleaned up the audio too. Learned how to do that yesterday. It just didn't work out because like I said earlier, you need someone who's totally focused on camera work. And then the other thing is the whole thing about going to Springfield and bringing the camera was to live stream it from my smartphone. And I was like, all the money I had spent getting up to that, having this nice camera with the little fuzzy thing on the end so you can go in the wind and there was no problems, and all that stuff was set up. And then at the end, I couldn't get the card that had the unlimited stuff. Just, you know what? When you live in the moment like me, you aim for the moon, and sometimes you make it. Just like that trip to Ken Patterson's last year. You know, aim for the moon. Within 48 hours, I was at the guy's house. It all happened in 48 hours. Boom! Ken's that guy too. Ken's a live in the moment kind of guy too. He was like, that's part of the thing that where he says he goes, you know, it's really nice because I didn't have anything to do that week. I invited you down and you got it done just like that. Like, yeah, right on. Instant friends. Yes, very true, very true, Very true. Very true. However, but I like it when they say it was all wasted money and all that stuff. That Tesla Roadster probably cost a pretty penny, $100,000 or something like that. And but it would have been a block of cement up in the top of that thing to prove its worthiness. Throw a block of cement up into space. Holy sh! I just thought about that. That's what they do. It's gonna have a block of cement come down one day. Yeah. Really thought that one through, guys. Jesus, Murphy. Wow. So it wasn't wasted, and it wasn't $90 million wasted. Like they say, it was $90 million wasted because the one booster landed in the sea. It was like that one was probably never going to be recovered anyways, because it was a version 3, not a block 5. I'm a little bit of a space geek. You know me, Ed. I know many things about things I shouldn't know anything about. Yeah, definitely. Let's walk. We can watch the moon launch. Yeah. SpaceX. Cause that's the crazy cats that we are. Actually, we could watch the government satellite that disappeared. I think that was that one right there. That was their whole backup plan, so everybody didn't say they had to pay. Falcon Heavy test flight. So tell me if the sound is way too much on this. Oh, not at all. There. I want to be able to talk nicely. Okay. Was this it? Yeah, 19 million views.
Of thrust, which is equal to 18 747s at takeoff. In fact, the engines are producing so much power that we don't run them at full thrust all at once. So during ascent, Falcon Heavy will throttle its thrust up and down in both the side and the center cores in order to balance the aerodynamic and structural loads on the vehicle. So about halfway through the first stage's burn, the two side boosters will separate and come back to Earth for a simultaneous landing at Cape Canaveral Air Force Station. More about that a bit later.
Like, this is all bragging rights. They do this for bragging rights. Like, it's just amazing.
At that point, the mission proceeds very much like a standard Falcon 9 flight. The center core
Why not? They put a video camera on everything because they can.
From the second stage on top. This second stage with the fairing right at the very top.
Hey Zane, good night.
Exactly the same as any other Falcon 9
Thanks for
flight,
stopping.
Except we've loaded a bit more helium onto it this time. Now that second stage will be sending our payload way out into a Mars crossing orbit, which we'll also get into a bit later. But all in all, with a successful launch, Falcon Heavy is going to be the largest and most powerful operational rocket in the world. We're very excited to be launching it today.
This is really their rocket that they're working on. This is actually proving the point that they can strap 3 rockets together and do a heavy rocket, but it's all old technology on this rocket, so that everything here is not going to be used past this summer.
All 3 first stage boosters And we began loading a couple minutes ago on the second
Like
stage.
this summer, there will be a Falcon Heavy, and all the rest of them will be Block 5 rockets. And
now we're loading liquid oxygen
then they're
and
gonna make
kerosene.
a super
We do that
duper.
because in order to support
It's called the
combustion, you need
BFR
oxygen.
rocket,
And
and
in the vacuum
it's
of outer
actually
space,
the
there
big
isn't any.
effing
So
rocket.
we bring our own liquid oxygen.
For real.
Chilled and densified. You may have heard densified in the past. That allows us to pack
Okay,
the
we're gonna skip
maximum
to the good part.
One stood only about
14
70 feet tall and
minutes.
could only carry about a half success. But on that he is on a whole nother level. So let's check in with Michael to get an overview of what that story may
T
look like.
minus 13.
7 minutes and T minus 6 minutes.
Something a little special
9.
with SpaceX inside.
Well, during its journey, the
7.
Roadster will also reach a max.
I'm not good at
From
math.
this point on, it's like a
Okay,
Falcon
we're
9
at
mission.
16.
Will separate.
There we go. We're close. Minute 42.
Falcon Heavy is
Ground gas closeouts are complete.
Falcon Heavy is installed.
It only see the fun part is it only takes about 10 minutes. 10 minutes for those things to come back after they launch. The whole thing is about 10 minutes. Yeah, like there's only 34 minutes in this video, and we're at 21 minutes already. We got 30 seconds left.
T-minus 30 seconds.
Launch director on countdown 1. Spacex, Falcon Heavy, go for launch. Falcon Heavy is configured for flight.
T-minus 15, standby for terminal count. 10, 9, 8,
Side booster ignition.
6, 5,
4, 3, 2, 1. Sorry, can't help it.
ignition. Go Falcon Heavy.
Oh yeah. You look at the tail, it's like double the size of the rocket. Even bigger. Like an obscene amount of flame. An obscene amount of flame.
You can hear me over the cheering. Falcon Heavy heading to space on our test flight. Building on the history of Saturn V Apollo, returning pad 39A to interplanetary mission. We're getting ready to throttle down for max Q.
Max Q means it's the maximum pressure on the front of the cones. Won't get any more than that.
Vehicle is supersonic.
You've heard the call out. Vehicle is supersonic. Side boosters are now throttling back.
I guess that means Shadow's here. Hello, buddy. How are you doing? How's my audio? I like this little startup stream. It kind of gives me a moment to prepare to get on camera. Or doesn't even get. I don't even have to get on camera. Yeah, audio levels. Awesome. Audio is good. I'm doing good. I've been watching a lot of people on the internet see what they've been doing, like what they do, like what do these streamers do? They play these like Shadow and I, and probably many of you out there, relax with some video games, Also, along with building models and stuff like that. I'm gonna take down my audio just a little bit here. Make sure I'm not clipping out. If that was a bad move, give me a heads up. Yeah, a lot of us play video games, you know, whether it be fantasy video games where you're an RPG character, or it's a war video game, all those kinds of different video games. Well, what do those guys do after hours and hours and hours of playing that stuff? Like, I can't play it that long. Let's get it together. Play a little Civilizations or something like that. But I can't do it 5 days a week, 40 hours. So some of them literally do that. Yeah, and they do shows like this. They do these chat shows where they get a couple of screens on their streamer and they watch some videos, and it's actually totally allowed. Like, we're allowed to watch videos and add commentary and stuff like that. What my idea is that I do this with you guys. If you want to watch something, say it in the chat. If you're a patron, you can go over into Discord, and I'll figure out how to open it up. I don't think it's opened up on my computer right now. But if you want to do the Discord thing, I am game. Because that is something that could get out of hand really quick. It is a patron-only thing. And I believe it's an automatic thing. You get an invite as you become a patron. Also, if you are a subscriber, or if you become a subscriber during the show, there's a little alert down at the bottom. Here I can trigger off the last one. If I had a producer, this is what the big time big time tubers streamers do. They put a couple up, make it look like you're busy or something.
Recapping all the great things that you just saw there. Successful liftoff from the pad, successful stage separation, but before that, successful booster separation. You can see stage one. The two side boosters, pardon me, you can see the center core, and you can see MVAC lit up. Oh my gosh.
Then the beautiful shots of Starman chilling in the Tesla Roadster. Just absolutely incredible. On your screen at the moment, you've got a few things happening. On the upper right, you've got MVAC D continuing its burn. On the upper left, you have the center core headed back towards the autonomous spaceport drone ship. And in the two bottom screens, you've got the side boosters headed back towards Cape Canaveral Air Force Station, landing zones 1 and 2.
Yeah, so do I love the don't panic.
The next step coming up for the side boosters and the center booster.
Actually, I'm gonna listen to the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy for the first time on audiobook. Like, I read the book when I was a teenager, but I'm gonna listen to the audiobook in my 40s.
And heating that occurs
Yeah.
when you're moving that quickly through the atmosphere.
I think that, you know, it was such an epic tale. Don't forget your towel. Hey.
As you can see on your screen, that re-entry burn for those two side boosters has begun.
You see, they cheer for every stage because this is their creature. You know, some of them are programmers, you know. The Apache, or the... What are they... I know what they use. I think it's Python that they're using.
Your screen performing its own re-entry burn. You can see the edge of...
I think it's Python code. So each time the stage hits, they're just like, yeah, work, my part worked. My addition to the code worked.
And even though those look very similar, those two boosters' views, those are actually representing different boosters.
Oh, that's epic.
Towards Earth.
Oh, look at it.
Landing burns.
Yeah.
We'll hopefully be able to bring you nice footage of that.
Both side boosters.
And watch the landing lights deploy at the tail end of that landing.
Look at that. It's so beautiful, all burned up, coming home.
And that landing burn.
I'm coming home, Dad.
Both boosters looking to be on track towards
I can see him on the ground there.
Side boosters landing legs are deployed.
I was sitting right here with my children when this happened. They just got off the bus and we ripped their asses, their butts in the back room, and we watched them with this. Just amazing. And it's real. Like, I don't know, there's people saying that's fake. We live in crazy times. I don't know.
Check on your screen. Sometimes this footage goes out when it approaches the drone ship and the heavy vibrations make it more safe.
Yeah, definitely the bomb.
That's not the case right now.
The mind blown. In the news report, in the press conference after, Elon Musk says, I was tripping balls.
Comes back shortly.
Oh man, yeah. As Michael mentioned earlier, with the vibrations of the rocket and how it shakes.
And now you put this on double speed. There we go. There we go. So guys, we're breaking up on an hour there. Yeah, there was all kinds of people there. There was the one guy that I watched who was I think he's called the Everyday Astronaut. He had a 4K camera looking up, which was like, we live in wonderful times when you can jump in your car and record that stuff even live on YouTube or epic. So I think this is a good time to stop. We're getting into an hour. If you're still watching this podcast, please just say hello or goodbye in the chat. Mark your name as being here. We're gonna do this every once in a while. We're gonna be starting up that MRS podcast or show. Gotta do meetings to figure out what's happening with it. What is it? On my way to the Mars. Is the life on Mars? Oh, there you go. Right in the very middle of the window on the dash, you can see a little dinky car with a meta little Starman in the dinky car. Right on, Ed. That's probably kind of stuff that you can talk about on the cast. That's awesome. Glad that you've really grown that relationship with him. You're talented. It's all about asking the people you jive with. But once you do it with one guy, tell you the truth, you probably get along with all the ones who don't reply to me. See you later, Ron. Thanks for watching. Yeah, I gotta admire geeks with humor. You got that right. Yeah, so Ed, I'd like to maybe chat with you on Facebook or something tomorrow, or get a little hangout and chat it up. Thanks for watching, everybody. If you like these things, I gotta say it in every show. Was the Patreon. Ed's a Patreon. Ed was my first patron contributor. See you later, spaceman. I should just leave this going. You know, here's a fun fact. The radio's running in that car, and when the car, we heard the music. No, that's not true. Well, in the vacuum of space, there is no sound. So he said that there's the radio on in the car, which could be bull. Then again, there was that. You know what? I'll bet you there wasn't anything on in the car, and that the "Stay Calm" sticker was probably just an etching on the panel. I'll bet you there's batteries are in there doing something funny making it a little satellite for as long as it possibly can. What do you think about that? What if they pulled out all the engines and all that stuff and made it into a satellite? Elon's secret satellite. Try that for a conspiracy theory instead of the flat earth thing, eh? To other people. Yeah, I'll do a hangout. Oh, what, tonight? No, I got into something that's gonna put me to bed. And it's pretty cool. Oh, look at this view! I cry in my heart. I cry in my heart that my dad is not alive to see this today. What the actual frig is going on with the... Oh, yeah. The message. The message. What? There are a lot of people on that planet right there who think they are cool. There are a lot of people who think they've got a message to share. There are a lot of people who say that they've got a voice who's connected to everybody. Whoa. I think they all just got schooled. Thanks for watching, everybody. Good night.